Hey, how's it going? Jeff Lerner here, and today we're talking about making money online in 2019. Is it still doable? Has the ship sailed, the opportunities come and gone, or the world is our oyster and we need to dive in? I'm gonna tell you all about it. Okay, so we're here to talk about making money online in 2019. Not surprisingly, you probably know my position given that I create content for YouTube, which is it's totally doable. In fact, it's a great business to be in. And in fact, I think there's a very long, beautiful future ahead of us for anyone who wants to embrace the internet and use it as a foundation for a business. But the first thing you have to know, I think not only sort of like begrudgingly accept, but actually get excited about is that internet business is real business. A lot of people have, sort of, I don't know what you call it, like online business syndrome, where they get on the internet and they think that like the fundamentals don't apply. Like it doesn't take any time and it's not hard work and anybody can do it and there's zero barrier to entry and no skills required. And I get it. There's a lot of people online that unfortunately are kind of promoting that message that like, oh, the internet makes it easy. The systems do all the work and it's a turnkey digital business opportunity that like you just turn it on like a car and it, it's self-driving or something. Well, it is like a car. Like there's things you can do to activate it, but you have to learn how to drive the vehicle. It's even like a Tesla. People like hear this term of a self-driving car, like we have this natural human instinct to like attribute automation and essentially give ourselves permission to be lazy, hypothetically, like, oh, if I get a Tesla, it'll drive me around. I have a Tesla. It doesn't drive you around. Like literally, if you take your hands off the wheel for more than 10 seconds, it like beeps at you and makes you put your hands on the wheel. Like there's no such thing as a self-driving anything in this world. Especially the internet, especially internet business. You have to work hard. You have to learn real skills. I have a company that teaches people digital entrepreneurship. And one of the things that we do with people is we take them through basically a 12-month business plan for what does it look like to actually build a business on the internet. And the reason we frame it as 12 months, and it's funny, we get on with people and we're like, okay, so first of all, let's define what we call your awesome life number. Like how much income do you need to generate from a digital business for it to significantly change the quality of your life and give you, some different options for your life. And they say, oh, I need, $5,000 a month or whatever. Okay, let's make a plan to try, obviously no guarantees, but let's create a pathway to get you to that number in 12 months. And people, so often they're like 12 months. No, I mean, this is internet business. I need this in 90 days or like, hopefully if this is the case, we've weeded them out, but we've even had people say, well, like I got to pay my rent on the 1st. And we're like, you can't start a business this month and be like, well, I needed to pay my rent on the 1st. That's not real business. That's insanity. And so we try to reframe people's mindset around, listen, if you were sitting down with a McDonald's or a Subway or like a Holiday Inn franchisee or franchisor where they're, issuing you like a permit for a franchise license, that you'd be talking about probably a 3 to 5 year plan to pay off the loan associated with the business. You'd have put tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars into the business that's essentially bound up in the business. You can't even start drawing income from the business until you get the loans paid off. So you're 3 to 5 years in working 50, 60 hours a week in a traditional franchise model before you can start having, a decent quality of life on the back of that business. That's real business. That's how the world works. The internet has so much leverage built in, so much, natural, call it like lubrication or lack of friction that allows things to move faster than normal, faster. Like it's a super real business in that sense because you can make good money in a year. But the idea that it's going to happen in 30 days or 60 days, that's just not real business. Or the idea that it's, you're not going to have to be excellent. Do you know the statistics on entrepreneurship and starting a business? Like when you decide that you want to start a business, you basically are like a gladiator. You basically say, okay, I'm going to go participate in a league, or I'm going to play a sport, or I'm going to participate in an activity where the majority of people fail, the majority of people set themselves back, but the people that are excellent, the people that are great, the people that will outwork most people, the people that will outsmart most people, they get a disproportionately awesome reward. It's like, in that sense, it's like being an athlete, or gladiator is probably a stretch, but it's like one of those things in life where to the victor go the spoils, but you have to be excellent because being average isn't going to cut it. And I think a lot of people on the internet have this really ridiculous idea that like it's this place that rewards, that somehow the same way we engage in the internet as a consumer, where like we kind of, we browse around and we leave a few comments and maybe we troll a few sites and we try to say something clever over here and somebody likes our comment and we feel this little endorphin rush, that like somehow that's real business behavior. Internet business is hard. The really good internet business owners that I know, digital business owners, they're some of the smartest people around and they work their butts off, but look at their lives. These are people that can travel anywhere. They make more money than most doctors. They have, lifestyles of almost opulence, not from the standpoint of like, garish excess, but from the standpoint of just the luxury of freedom. With great risk comes great reward. With great opportunity comes great responsibility. There's a call. If you want to be good at this kind of business, the work is going to have to go into it in the same way that it has to go in to being good at anything. And whenever you have something, think about what the internet is. It's this thing that holds so much promise and there's so much hype around it. In real world terms, when there's something that has a huge amount of opportunity and a huge amount of hype and visibility around that opportunity, is that something that's likely to pan out for the masses? Or is it something that's likely to pan out for the people that take a really focused, surgical, almost myopic approach and say, I'm going to master this, I'm going to be great at it, and I'm going to outwork most people, I'm going to out-hustle most people, and I'm going to outlast most people? Who gets the rewards, do you think, in something like this? It's the people that take that attitude that I just described. And I'm not apologizing for it. That's the thing. People go on the internet and they want this big apology that it's harder than they thought. But that was their fault for thinking that it should be easy. It's real. A business can be a real business or a business can be an easy business. It can't be both. It's your fault for thinking that it was going to be easy. Internet business is real business. Now let's talk about two words, the two most misunderstood words on the internet. First of all is scam. Second of all is spam. Okay, let's take spam first. So I get people, like I have an email list, right? And I send emails to people that signed up for my list. Now bear in mind, these are people that put their name on my list and said, I'd like to receive some kind of information. I send them the information and, occasionally, and it doesn't happen a lot, but occasionally you'll get people mark spam. Occasionally you'll get people reply and say, sometimes it's like mean and there's, expletives and nastiness. And sometimes they'll straight up accuse you of like, I didn't sign up for this, blah, blah, blah. Or they'll call you a spammer. Okay, spam is a specific thing. Spam is about abusing free systems by either illicitly acquiring people's information or by using automated, robotic, or software-driven processes to essentially abuse infrastructure. If I'm sending somebody an email and they just don't like the content or they're not in the mood to receive the content, that's not spam. That's just something that they personally find distasteful at that time. And that's why every email, per the CAN Spam Compliance Act, that's sent by any reputable email provider has a link that says unsubscribe or remove me from this list, right? Like there's mechanisms in place. And a lot of internet buyer psychology has this sort of like victim mindset that seems to be interwoven in their participation, in their willing participation in the ecosystem. But then as soon as anything they don't like, now they're a victim. And now they're a victim of spam or they're a victim of a scam. Let's talk about that word, scam. Okay, so first of all, as an internet business owner, let's talk about something called friendly fraud. So this is when somebody buys something on the internet and they have a little bit of remorse. Maybe they don't want to do the work. Maybe they don't like the fact that this Jeff Lerner guy won't just tell them what they want to hear, that it's so easy and anybody can do it and there's no work required and everybody's a genius on the internet. No, everybody's not a genius on the internet. Only really smart people that work really hard are geniuses on the internet, just like life. And I didn't pull the punch. So they're going to call their credit card company or they're going to log onto their bank and they're going to dispute the charge and they're going to say that I never signed up for that or they're going to label it fraud. This is a technical term in merchant processing that's known as friendly fraud. You may say, well, why is Jeff diving into all these sort of unpleasant nuances of internet marketing in a video about making money online in 2019? Because what I'm trying to establish for you is that, again, this is real business. Real business has things like managing merchant processor relationships, dealing with support, dealing with refunds, dealing with fraudulent chargebacks, dealing with unhappy customers, dealing with ignorant consumers, dealing with all this stuff, dealing with these words, scam and spam, that'll get applied to you and labeled to you and that you could get attacked with. that if you don't understand the fundamentals of internet marketing, and I've seen this happen so often with really well-intentioned people, that they see the opportunity of the internet and they get into it, and it's like one of those, movies about a kid that finds themselves on like the wrong side of the tracks, and all of a sudden they're like, how did I get here, and what has happened, and what world is this that I inhabit? It gets so dark and so negative and so twisted and so weird so quickly. And like, I just wanted to make a buck online. It's better to go into this with your eyes wide open. Like, the internet is a wild and crazy place. There's huge opportunity, but the majority don't realize that opportunity because they didn't go into it with the right mindset about what it was really going to take. And then you get essentially what I would call sort of knucklehead consumers throwing around words like spam and scam and making you feel like you did something wrong, when in reality, it's because when you remove, it's like Lord of the Flies. You remove the accountability, you remove the regulation, you remove the supervision, and our inner child goes berserk. That's how the internet is. People buy stuff at 1 o'clock in the morning, they wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they say they got scammed because they were up late on their Ambien and they don't remember what they did. Like, this is the stuff that you have to deal with on the internet. And again, it's better to go into it with your eyes wide open, because if you understand it and you know what you have in store for you, you can rise above it and you can make beautiful commerce on the internet. You can make beautiful money on the internet. You can have a beautiful life powered by digital commerce. But you don't have to go through all this emotional turmoil about it that frankly most new internet business owners do, because nobody told them this stuff. So I'm laying it out for you. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about making money online in 2019 is right here. Opportunity psychology. This is the number one mindset that you need to take with you into any sort of an internet business. And again, this whole conversation is about how on the internet, common sense and logic so often just get flipped, right? Like there's this sort of collective insanity that seems to take over when people start spending money or investing in things on the internet. This is essentially where that happens, is this crux concept right here. In real life, investment in opportunity is usually commensurate with effort. So think about the educational system. What costs more money? Getting a certification as an auto mechanic or getting a certification as a brain surgeon? What costs more money? Obviously, getting certified as a brain surgeon. It takes longer. What takes more work? Brain surgery. What costs more money? Brain surgery. What has higher barriers to entry and requires passing more difficult exams? Brain surgery. There's a correlation between the amount of money that you invest, the amount of time that is then expected on the heels of that money, and the amount of opportunity that is then attached to the investment of time and money. That's how life works. That's how education works. Again, collective insanity on the internet. People think that, well, the more I invest in learning internet business or buying training or buying coaching or attending a seminar or being part of a mastermind group or whatever, the more I invest, the less I should have to do. That doesn't make any sense. That's not how the world works. It's not how the internet works, because the internet business is real business. So again, don't shoot the messenger here. This may not be what you want to hear if you've been out there looking at how to make a buck online. Sometimes, I'm not convicting anyone in particular, but sometimes people that are looking how to make a buck online, they're expecting to find some kind of a hack or a shortcut or a secret. And the reality is, it's like anything else. It's a lot of work. There's a lot to learn. But the difference is, because of the dynamics of the internet and how the internet operates, because it has, it's up and running 24/7. It doesn't, a lot of automated systems that are software-driven systems. It doesn't require employees. There's a lot of leverage in using service-based, service software for fulfillment and payment processing, and a lot of the physical rigors of traditional business are removed. Like, internet business can just be amazing, but it doesn't mean it's not real. Okay? I hope that you appreciate this heavy dose of truth and reality from somebody who's been in the online business game for over a decade. This is the real stuff. It's what you need to know if you're going to get into it. And listen, if you're cut out for it, you can create a life so extraordinary, so unlike the life that most people live, but you've got to be willing to go, fight a real fight. Okay, so hey, if you like this kind of stuff, click subscribe, join my channel. I put out videos just about every day. I'm pretty consistent about it. Make sure you click the bell to get notified when new videos come out, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.